Gatsby, when it first came to my desk, I was for sure like, all right, website needs a lot of work. A lot of work needs a lot of work, but all the signals were there that the demo was ready to buy this product. And I told him, the possibility on your account is we can get you to 500,000 per month in revenue. He messaged me and he's like, holy shit, Chris, I didn't believe you. I didn't believe you when you first told me.
Okay, what is up, guys? Welcome back to, I think, the third episode of the Almost Weekly show with Sugatan. I'm going to introduce everyone. Rui is a ad buyer here at Sugatan. Dominic is a video strategist. Dominic's actually been on the show before. You guys just haven't seen that episode yet, but it's coming soon. So you've got that to look forward to. No stranger. We've got myself. Again, today I'm kind of just here to be a general member of the public because this is not really my field of expertise either. And then we have Chris, of course, Chris, the CEO of Sugatan. And today we're going to be talking about a viral advert for a brand called Gatsby Shoes. Dominic was one of the creators of the advert. Rue was also involved in the whole ad buying process and creation process. And I think we're going to break it down today. Chris, you can kick us off.
Yeah, I'm going to start at the beginning, because Rui and Dominic, you guys don't know this, but Gatsby, when it first came to my desk, I was for sure like, all right, website needs a lot of work. A lot of work needs a lot of work. But when I audited the ads manager account, all the signals were there that there was a ready demographic. The demo was ready to buy this product. And not just that, but the CPMs and the target link CPC was all there. The CPMs were at the right price. Link CPC, for suboptimal ads that he already had were already there. And I knew that if we just improved and made some modifications on the ad, that we could actually help Gatsby Shoes scale. And I remember, when I first talked to the founder and I told him, the possibility on your account is we can get you to 500,000 per month in revenue. We'll try to get you there, but I do see that as a possibility. And once you guys started scaling the account, he actually messaged me when you guys were at hitting that 250 to 300,000 per month revenue. He messaged me and he's like, holy shit, Chris, I didn't believe you. He's like, I didn't believe you when you first told me. And he's like, and now we're here. And so, and the great thing about this is that, because I knew the signals were all there, I just needed to give it to you guys and do your magic and figure it out, because that's what you guys are really good at, but then, the first, I would say after 6 weeks that you guys started working on it, I heard from some of the team members like, Chris, man, we have no content to work with, this is such a challenging spot to be in the very beginning, because you guys don't have a lot to work with. And in my mind, you guys don't know this, but in my mind, I'm like, but all the signals are there. All we have to do is just put our head down and figure it out, because it's not going to take that much. That's what I told the team member inside Sugatan. Like, it won't take that much, because all the signals are there in terms of a ready demographic that is going to buy the product. It doesn't take too much effort. We just need to figure out the positioning and the ad that's going to work. So you guys hit your first viral ads. I think initially that was from the graphics team, because we are definitely seeing a trend that graphics ads are definitely going viral for top of funnel. We've been seeing this probably since Main Roast back in 2020. I forget my years, but in the early, I want to say, like in early 2020, graphics started to hit top of funnel and go viral, which was like insane. I hadn't really seen it that effectively. But then now we have a viral video that is essentially going viral inside Gatsby shoes, and it started going viral last week. And now over a span of how many days, Rui? Like 7 days?
Yeah, about 7 days, and already spent 20K. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's already spent 20K at the profitable total ROAS, which for this account, what's the total ROAS we need?
Yeah, we need to hit 2.6.
2.6. Okay, so it's hitting at that 2.6 total ROAS. Great. So I think what I'd like for you guys to just talk about, that's from my perspective. Okay, now you guys talk about, okay, when you got the account, where'd you guys struggle? You know, what did you guys feel like was the thing that you guys had to figure out first in order to, one, hit the first viral ad, and then secondarily, now having this viral ad that is now scaling the account even further. So maybe
can I just jump in there quick? I just want to ask you something, Chris.
Yeah.
Just based on all the content we've been putting out in the last week for the viewers as well. It sounds like when you saw the account first, I mean, this was before you really delved deep into the A/B testing and levers, the book and all of that. You actually, in a sense, you already had that whole formula in your head. You already had all the experience. You already had all of the knowledge to look at it and go, this is my hypothesis of this account. At the moment, it's not that, but I can see it's going to go there because of this and this and this. So, I mean, you already had that whole system in your head before that you had put a name to it and really implemented it as a process in the business. So just for viewers, if you kind of want to see how Chris worked that out without it even having a proper name yet, we've actually just posted a whole lot of videos about A/B testing, and Chris is kind of getting started on a series of going really, really deep into A/B testing and validating your hypothesis and knowing that you're not going to take on an account that's going to flop because of this and this and this or these reasons.
Yeah, it's actually how I manage the team in that sense as well and hold them accountable, because in my mind, I know what's possible. And whenever I encounter any of the team members saying, we can't do it, then I know that at that point, I actually have to switch out team members who can actually see the opportunity, honestly, because at that, there comes to a level where the team just like that's in there that's been trying to figure out, they just kind of hit a wall, you know, and I have two options. Either I come in and lead the team and actually fish for the opportunities, or I bring in a different strategist altogether who starts to see the opportunities. That's what happened with Nicholas, for example, when I started to bring Matis in, because Nicholas inside our large skincare brand, he basically just like he folded, you know, he's like, I can't, guys, like I can't anymore with the media buying. I just can't. And so I knew then, oh, we got to bring in somebody who has a fresh perspective, because I know that it can, you know, and that's kind of like when this particular team member came to me and was like, look, we gotta work out this Gatsby thing. And I'm like, it can happen. You guys need to just figure it out. Like, I believe me. And I would say, Callum, that is a result of the, you know, last 4 years of doing this. That is the intuition that gets built over time. You know, even Rui, when we are bringing out, we're currently in the middle of bringing on new accounts because we opened up applications, and Rui can already see the opportunity. And that's like that the intuition only builds over time on the amount of ad spend that you've spent, essentially. Yeah. I've just formalized it as a process. You know,
you've given it a name. It's now a system that can be, that you don't have to kind of babysit the process. And like you said, it's not necessarily, that's why it's such an important process, not necessarily that one strategist is bad or whatever. It's a fresh perspective. It's like we have in the marketing team, mixing everyone's ideas to get the very best result.
And that's really the thing. That's why Agile and Scrum is really important, because when it works, everybody is adding on to everybody's ideas, just because in digital marketing, the most nuanced thing can actually be the viral part. And because so many little things can be missed, other team members can highlight that and say, don't miss that. And we really just build on each other's ideas. And I think that we've struggled. I think the most when we've struggled is when we couldn't successfully bring the team together to really ideate together. And that's kind of like the biggest shift that I think, we're doing inside Sugatan. But I don't know, maybe, Rui and Dominic, you guys can talk about you guys' perspective from the time that you guys did get the account and getting it to where we're at now. And we'll show you guys the viral ad in just a bit here, but maybe just start off, Rui, and Dominic, your starting place. Now I've passed it on to you guys. Then what happened?
Yes, so I will start, Dominic. I remember when we started this client in July, we started the client with only free creatives, basically. Of course, the potential was there because for about 8 months, the client was running this brand with only those free ads. So and was doing it profitable. So that's a good signal. But yeah, when it reached to us for 1 month, he was down. So the performance was going literally down. So that's why he came to us. And for 1 month, we tried to run the entire ad account with just ad buying. And we were able to make some changes there, but still it was not enough to really scale again, because the ads were just saturated. They were been running for a long time, almost 1 year, right? And even with changes in ad buying structures, optimizations, everything we can do, we found like some better results there, but to really scale at the pace we wanted, it was difficult. And the magic, and that was when we really struggled, when, okay, we just relying on ad buying here right now with saturated ads. But then when we start but at the same time, during that first month, we were brainstorming, because here in Sugatan, every week we have like a meeting with the people that are responsible for working with that brand, and we brainstorm ideas. And all together we try to really come up why people buy shoes, right? Classic shoes like this. And that's when we start to see like values like comfort, quality, compliments, and like basically all of those things why people buy. And when we start using that in our advantage to the ads, that was when the magic starting to happen, and it happened really fast, because the client, he had some ads that have success, but it doesn't have like a positioning, value proposition. The communication was that copy was basically all the same. And when we really, through the creatives and the communication, talked to our customers, that's when basically the conversion rate starts to going crazy again. So in the first month, the results were kind of the same, I would say, but it was, I think from the first creative we did, the change started, like from the first very, very creative. And and I know we will talk about the viral creative later, but I would say that the viral creatives that we had, like the first one and now this one, is just a result of all of the tests that we did until that moment. The viral creatives are like a mix of different tests. So from one creative, we can have an headline. From another creative, we can have like the first 3 seconds. From another one, we can have like a specific frame that really catches attention. And it's a mix of good practice from all the previous tests we did. And that's how we reach there. It's not like, oh, okay, we're going to do this right now and we're going to have a winner creative. No, it's going to be always optimization of different things we did.
So I have 2 questions, Rui. Number one, had you scaled a viral ad before this one?
No, I never had one. Yeah.
Okay, so this is really important ad buying question, because how did you know to scale? Because when we qualify ad buyers, one of the things that I look for is, does the actual ad buyer know how to scale a viral ad? And that's a really, really important, because I've come across ad buyers who don't know how to effectively scale a viral ad. So tell me about how you like felt confident about scaling that, because I think that, you know, one of Matis's feedback about you, and it's a general, it's like, it's normal. A lot of ad buyers have this, which we go conservative, because those are real dollars that you're spending.
Yeah.
And so it becomes like, oh shit, do I actually like, you know, when you're at the point where you're being the person who's actually pouring money in, you know, like how do you like walk us through how you actually were able to scale that ad to its maximum potential? Because I know the benchmarks in my head, really, you are scaling that appropriately. You're not under, you know, scaling it, you're not overdoing it, it's just right. So yeah.
Yes, so once we have a viral ad on our ends, actually, let me just say this real quick. So for example, the first viral ad, it was like, it was viral because it was just an optimization of a previous one that got an headline related to quality, and we changed the headline related to comfort, and that changed everything. But the creative is basically the same. And from that point, we can see that
early. As in body text, or headline on the creative,
yeah,
or
on
headline,
the creative.
so like the boom bar.
Yeah, like a bar on the creative. Yeah, that can make a huge impact on the ads.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And once I have it on my hands, I could really see from the beginning, like in the first 3 days, we can already tell, because we start to spend and we can see like our CTR, normally it's way above our benchmark of the ad account on that moment. Our engagement rate is also super high. And the CPC is not that high too. It's usually at the same level or lower than the average. And of course, most important, the ROAS is there too. We see that the ROAS is obviously bigger than any of the others. So from that initial tests of that viral ad, of course, I am every day increasing the budget of that. But once I understand it really is showing a really good, better results, I duplicate it to our top of the funnel campaigns. And I just start to really, I mean, I remember I created the campaign like with maybe the double or triple ad spend per day, just from the beginning, because I can see yeah, just from the metrics, I can see real quick it's a big thing. And then just start to play with optimizations, like, okay, changing, for example, from 7-day click to 1-day click, trying different copies. And here the copy had a major part too, because we have the viral ad. Then I've changed the copy to another one, another copy, and the ad was even better with other copy. So it went from viral to 2 times viral just because of the copy. And yeah, it's basically like that. We try different campaign structures, different placements, different ad copies, headlines. And once we have it, we just gotta be confident in putting money there and looking, of course, all the time of our KPI. Each day I take a closer look at our revenue and spend, and really try to have that balance between spend and revenue. And it's hard to explain, but we can feel the ad account. We get to a place where we really can feel what we are doing, and we have confidence just to put money, because we know that until the end of the day, even if our ROAS is not there in the beginning, it will raise. It's like we really know how things correlate with each other.
Yeah, and how many times do you go into the ad account to actually push the budget per day when the ad is going viral?
Yes, so in this type of ads, really more than 3 times per day, maybe. it can be 2 times in the morning, then another 3 in afternoon, and then at night again. So because, okay, Facebook will not spend the entire budget we increase during the day, but it will always give us more like 30% maybe than if we made just one increase of 20% in the morning, that probably would spend that 20%. But if we do that a lot of times per day, in the end of the day, it will not spend the entire increases we did, but in the end, it will increase more than only 20%. Yeah, and yeah.
This is why we use Hyros, because a lot of people ad buyers are saying, oh, Hyros doesn't work. Hyros doesn't work for me. And I always say there's 2 camps. There's the one that doesn't go into ads manager only like every 2 days or so. Those are the ones that Hyros doesn't work. But for us, we're in the account multiple times a day and we need the most accurate data at that point in time. And you, Rui, actually balance between Hyros and Google Analytics in order for you to make your decisions, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually in these, I was using more like the Google Analytics and Facebook and trying to compare both of them. And it's hard when you look at 2 different places, but it's one thing that in the beginning seems confused. And should I look more at Google Analytics, at Facebook? But when you really start to getting that that feeling of the account, and after a couple of weeks looking at the metrics, you really understand how you can cross both platforms and make your decisions.
Because this is actually an argument that I had with somebody a few years ago inside Sugatan, a lead strategist, and he was making me go on a different platform. And I said, the platform, because you just validated my point that I want to express to the audience, like the platform that you use doesn't matter as long as the data environment is stable, that it's basically giving you a stable metrics that you can then use as a benchmark to measure whether an action is lifting it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's what you're saying, really. When you understand, like after a couple of weeks, you know the metrics and you start to understand the benchmarks in the account and the rhythm in the account. And then from there, you can see when something is like, oh, that's a good thing. Oh, that's a bad thing, you know? And
yeah.
All that matters, not the accuracy, but more so that the environment is stable. It's a stable data environment. Yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, Rui. No, okay, great. So, you know, I think this is actually the first time that I've ever heard that all you did was change the copy, one word, or like the meme bar, and then it went viral. How did you guys know to invest in that ad though, and to optimize on it? Because the initial signals were there?
Yes, because for example, the first ad that was like a winner, but it was not viral. It had some success, but it was not that great. The headline was something like premium leather without the premium prices, and that showed potential, because that is one of the pain points we wanted to target. But then from other ads, we had used like an headline that is shoes that feel like sneakers. And from those other ads, that headline was showing every time we would use that headline on some ads, the CTR at least was really higher than the usual. So that was really getting people intrigued because it's a unique value proposition. So we knew that we have these winner premium leathers that feel like premium leather shoes without the premium prices. It was a winner. So we knew, okay, if we use that shoes that feel like sneakers headline on this ad, it will just explode. It was like, it's just a feeling we had that, it's going to work, and it's going to work big time. Yeah.
Awesome. Good. Okay, Dominic, how was it in your perspective?
I came into Gatsby just like a breath of fresh air. You know, I saw that there was success, which is always really nice. And another sort of advantage that I had was I love shoes. Like I love the idea of marketing shoes. Like I was attempting to start a shoe store before I was working with Sugatan. looking into it, like looking into shoes on Alibaba and AliExpress, and like really studying it, and like studying the greats like Nike. And I don't know, shoes are just like special. They're a special product. People just drop so much money on shoes. And so I came in, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then also I had another advantage. I actually related directly to the demographic because I had to do some pretty laborious work in dress shoes. I was working as a graduation photographer, and I never knew how bad dress shoes could be. Like, I just thought they looked nice, but wearing them for utility is just, it's not the thing. And then they like heat up like crazy, and they're just not good shoes. And they when you're walking down a hallway, it sounds like you're wearing stilettos. So like seeing Gatsby, you know, I was like, man, those are actually really nice looking. Like, I would wear them. And they're like extremely flexible. So I was totally in the mind of the consumer. And then I was like, we've already got all these ads that work, you know. So I just looked at those, and graphics team, I basically study graphics team pretty hard. Like, they come up with so many absolute bangers. So I just study them until I understand what's going on. And so I studied that top of funnel ad, which do you mind if I show it? The graphics team one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty. So I believe it's right here. So this is one of the first ones they made that I believe didn't perform as well as it could have, right? With the premium leather.
Yeah, no, this one, it was like above average, but it was not there yet at the point that was viral.
Gotcha. And then they went to this is mine. They went to this one with the shoes that feel better than sneakers, and it's just a slideshow.
Yeah.
But I like analyzed it. I was like, okay, so we've got an incredible.
Can I just, sorry, I just want to ask for all the viewers as well, who kind of want to create their own ads, or who are interested, what do you think the reason for that is? Because just from looking at it myself, it's kind of, I've never heard any dress shoe claim to be as comfortable or better than a sneaker, but I've heard every single, not even just dress shoe, every company in the world claim premium quality, premium design, premium. Is it kind of because everyone says their product is premium, and then this better than sneakers was a completely new take on it, that this performed better? What do you think the reason?
Yeah, exactly. I think here we found really a good point. That was everyone that has like classic shoes says that the shoe is the best quality, etc. But it's just, they're talking about the product, and we really made this product add a benefit. It's like a looking good shoe with a benefit that it's a stylish leather shoe for sore, plain fit. So
okay,
once
tell you.
Yeah,
like, start cut you off really, but this is the best way to say it, because this is so top of mind for me as we have this new wave of copywriters that we brought into Sugatan. And, you know, I think that there's the traditional, what we do is create viral ads. And when I actually stop to think about why does something go viral, and it directly clashes with the notion of we have to segment our audiences and speak to a particular type of person. But virality, it means that you have to, the components of a viral anything is that it's very relatable, and it transcends, you know, the old person, it transcends the middle-aged person, it transcends the younger person, because all three of those age demographics at some point consider wearing dress shoes. But what are the common sort of like pain points across all of them that they all encounter? So Dominic, who is in his mid or early to mid 20s, and Rui as well, and so are you, Callum, like, you guys have probably worn some dress shoes, and you're going to speak the same language as the businessmen, older gentlemen who also have had to wear dress shoes. They can all be pretty painful and uncomfortable. And what we do is we really have to figure out what are the commonalities that really transcend those like
kind of
age boundaries.
Everyone's common pain point that
it's
something that applies to everyone, because you kind of, you know, if I was seeing the ad, I hope you're going to sell me a good quality product. I mean, that's kind of a given, but like I've got a pair of good quality dress shoes in my cupboard. What's the difference between these ones and those ones? And it's, well, those ones give me blisters when I wear them for 2 hours, but these ones, they're good quality, obviously, but they're comfortable. So that's kind of what's you're looking for the thing that everyone feels that's really gonna get them to go, okay, and whip out their card, kind of thing.
But then there has to be this process, because we call them ultimately trigger words, because you also have to, like what Rui is saying, is like test multiple copies to understand what that trigger word is. And the graphics team, that's what they did well, and that's what they do well, because graphics requires copy. And they have to test on those trigger words, because you can say shoes that feel better than sneakers. I mean, they came up with multiple iterations, you know, like dress shoes that feel better than sneakers, right? Dress shoes that feel better than something else, like, I don't know, high tops, I don't know, but like you have to like really go through this process of optimizing on the copy to get to the trigger words. Even the skincare brands were like, is it needles is the trigger word? Is it crow's feet? Is that a trigger word? You know, like we have to literally spend some time
working it
on
out,
those
and
trigger words.
probably
Yeah.
the graphics are the best way to do it as well, because it doesn't take 3, 4, 5 days to make a graphic like a video takes. You can literally put those out there and work out exactly what all those trigger words are with like almost no
Yeah.
barrier to
But
execution.
they also had to really think through on the which design to feature as well, because that's also a store that has multiple SKUs, that has multiple designs. You kind of have to like pick the one that is also the most relatable one. And I'm not surprised that this brown against this Louis Vuitton-esque or Gucci-esque like thing, you know, these are all very intentional from the graphics team as well. You know, like I would think so. I don't know if that's true though, Rui, but like, did you guys feature different designs? Oh, did you guys test different design shoes? And because to me, my assumption and what I've seen is that you have to go with the one that is the most relatable design, again, across multiple ages.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, we tested the different shoes that are on the website, but I think in this particular case, we didn't have that thinking. It was just, okay, let's create different creatives for each shoes the client has and see which one gets the most traction. We went by the metrics, so only what the data was telling us. And it was telling us that this shoe, it was really performed really well compared to the others. So we knew that the budget needed to be spent in this shoe.
Great.
But I understand what you are saying, and it makes sense for other clients. Of course, we think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Move on, Dominic. Continue on, Dominic. With like you were saying that you took this ad as inspiration from what the graphics team produced.
Yes, I did a lot of studying of it, went real deep into it, because I'd seen they'd done similar things, but with different images. So I tried to understand what about these images as well was really killing it. And beyond just they're well set up, I believe it also affects the algorithm, because the algorithm, you know, auto detects whether or not things are publishable, right? And it uses a certainty percentage. And if each element within a frame, it has a high degree of certainty by the algorithm, meaning it knows exactly what that thing is. You're apparently it's way better for TikTok. It's way better for ads. It'll help you get up faster because the algorithm is more confident in its evaluation of your ad. But also just like these images are really, really good. Like you have a nice solid black base. You have absolutely stellar detail shots of the shoes. It looks gorgeous and it's very simple. So I looked at the psychology of it and I said, you know, we can create all these complicated ads, but the fact is they're not working, and this is working extraordinarily well. So essentially the consumer just wants to see pretty images of the shoe. They want to see the shoe looking pristine and also communicating professionalism. So, you know, you got the briefcase, you've got hardcore elements such as a steel floor, all these things, and then the shoes just look elegant and graceful. And on top of that, they look unique. You know, just this opening image here, you get to see the accents, and it, you know, it stands out by itself. It kind of sells itself. But then also, yeah, that copy was extraordinarily good, so I kept that in mind, and I actually used that in many video ads, and it worked really, really well. But for the ad, can I show the ad that I created? Awesome.
Yes, of course.
So for this ad, I wanted to abbreviate the idea, you know, shoes that feel better than sneakers, and just abbreviate it to dress sneakers, because I thought that worked pretty well. And also it was a little subversive. Maybe the person would read it and try to, you know, understand it a little bit more. And this copy existed before this ad, and it worked pretty well. So, you know, it's simple, it's quick, and you know, time is money, especially in this business. So the idea for this ad came at the last second. So we'd been iterating, and I was noticing a trend that simpler is better. I did this was True Flight, you know, luxury product, and then I figure, hey, this is going to be an industry thing, you know, just simpler is better, shorter is better. You get more playtime, you know, people rewatch the ad, that tells the algorithm they're interested, and also they're more committed because they know it's not a really annoying 5-minute ad that's just trying to hammer a product into them. My philosophy is always allow the viewer the opportunity to convince themselves, instead of trying to convince them. And this idea for the kicking of the shoe off and then putting it in reverse came last minute, because the initial plan for these ads was just really nice shots of people standing on nice carpet, comfortable, wearing these shoes, maybe a little bit of readjustment. They're like, you know, shifting their legs. And I went with that idea because it had worked in previous ads. It had worked really, really well in very simple ads, just them standing on a carpet. The lighting wasn't even that good. It just worked really well. And then for this particular ad, like getting down to this style, I was researching competitors. There's a shoe that is designed for nurses where it's, you don't have to, you know, pull the heel to put it on. You just literally slip it on. It has a spring type thing that makes it lock onto your feet really well. And the footage was just of them standing in the shoe. And as a viewer, I was like, that's really interesting. For some reason, just that image is really interesting. So I wanted to do that. And then at the last second, this is like one of the higher variations, like variation 2 or 3. And I thought to myself, you know, we're trying to do pattern interrupts. You know, we had tried some famous pattern interrupts like the egg break that Joe did for Rare Form way back in the day. And I thought to myself, it would be really cool to see the shoe fly, you know, onto someone's foot. And that kind of, we'd seen that sort of whimsical footage, lighthearted, whimsical, but classy enough footage was working really well. We had a shot that Paola did, which she found inspiration for on Pinterest. And it's literally just of the blue shoes tied to a stick up above, just rotating, and you know, using their laces, they're tied, and there's a beautiful golden background, and the contrast works really well. And that ad performed like crazy. So you know, it's like, okay, we need something whimsical. It takes itself seriously, but not too seriously, and allow the product to speak for itself. And then this shot, done by Lauren, comes from forever ago. I saw that this bending footage was working really well, and I wanted to go closer towards business dress, you know, communicating authority and power and everything. And I just think this shot looks really nice. it's serious, but also a little casual. You can see his cuffs aren't done up. You know, he's obviously in his home. And then the textile, we wanted to keep things simple, but this textile is directly from that ad that made shoes for nurses. And I just thought to myself, it looks good. It's sort of fresh. So let's just try that. And that's components of it.
No, that's amazing. Actually, one of the very first accounts that we ever scaled back in 2018 through a viral ad was Humps Optics. They were sunglasses, and they were very similar. Like it was the whole concept around. I remember one of our working copies was like $100 sunnies for $30, and then we would demonstrate the durability of it. I remember telling Alex, the founder at the time, I was like, run it over with, he's like, okay. And he like took a golf cart and he ran over it. And then you can see that it was still intact. And that's that went viral. And this actually reminds me of that, because in the beginning, it's kind of like, I don't know what you call it, just like a regular consumer good. But then you really like elevate it through advertising. I mean, that's like what we do, you know? So I think this is great. And I'm not surprised that this idea came from you, Dominic, with the last minute being more organic, like let's do it where this shoe is like flying off backwards kind of thing. I'm also extremely grateful that Lauren and Paula have very willing boyfriends to be in the ads. Oh my gosh, like at the men's skincare brand, they are all over that one. And I'm just like, I freaking love these guys that they're just like in all of our ads, because I think this might be Lauren's boyfriend at
it's Garrick. It's her husband.
Oh, Lauren, oh, I didn't know Lauren was married. That's amazing. And that he's like so willing to like just be in, because this is not the first time, obviously, like he's been in multiple ads of ours.
Listening to them like when they're filming is hilarious. Like when you're editing the footage, he'll be saying the funniest stuff and she'll be like screaming a little bit, like, you know, do it again. And he's just like a big kid. It's awesome.
I'm dying. Where does Lauren live?
They live in Ohio currently.
Oh, they're in Ohio. Okay,
Yeah.
so interesting. Okay, awesome, amazing. Callum, we also need to have a session with the graphics team as well, because I want to go into benchmarks. So that first ad that the graphics team made, Rui, how much has it generated in trackable revenue inside Ads Manager? You're on mute.
You muted, Rui.
That's like a Zoom noob, like.
Yeah. So the first one, the first viral ad from the Ads Manager, it generated about $500,000, but probably it generated more because, as we know, we don't get all the data from Facebook after iOS. So probably it was way more than that.
I would probably think it would be around closer to 700,000. I don't know if that's overdoing it, but like it's probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Great. And so this will probably be right around another minimum 500K, I would think, for the one that's currently going viral, right?
And actually, an optimization I see for this ad right away is like we are using the blue shoe, and actually our top seller is the black one. We can do the exact same video with the black shoe, and it can even be better, the results, because the black one is more relatable. Normally blue, it's like a color that not all of the people would use, but black one is super usual.
Yeah. Callum, next one, we got to get the graphics team in here to do a breakdown of that, because 16K engagement is actually insane. And by the way, the thing about it is that I feel like men on social are totally underserved in terms of like actually getting advertised these kinds of products in general. And I'm glad that a couple of our accounts are like really targeting towards men. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think that's also part of the reason for the success.
It's nice. Yeah. Going into stores, you go to the shoe section and it's like for dudes, it's like nothing.
Dominic's like, it's nice to feel loved for once.
It is.
Like to have some attention.
It's a little.
Just me and my shoe advert on Valentine's Day,
But do you find, Rui, that a lot of women are commenting on the ads and they're like, oh, tagging their husband or their
Yeah,
boyfriend?
that's another thing. Of course, the product is for men's, and you can think, okay, so I'm just going to targeting men's. It makes sense. But actually, you want to do that, yes, but you also want to have like campaigns targeting women's and men's, and even only women's, because they comment a lot and they tag their husbands, and some of them buy for them. So
Yeah.
it's actually a great gift for. And that's another reason so why we scale so much, and we are continuing to scale because December was our best month, and this month we will hit basically the same revenue. And January is usually a bad month overall,
Yeah.
so it's a great signal.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Well, I'm really looking forward to just really it's exciting that because I remember when the whole iOS thing was all coming out, I was like, yeah, but you know what? Viral ads will still exist. Viral content will always be around. And, as long as we can produce that, I think that despite whatever algorithm changes are happening, that's always going to still scale the e-com brands. And, time and time again, the team is proving that to be true. Go ahead, Ruby.
Yeah. Even more after iOS, because before it was way easier to do ad buying, of course, because even a mediocre creative the algorithm would work for us. But right now, if the creative was important before, right now it's 100 times more important. So I think a lot of the time of ad buyers should be, of course, managing the account and see opportunities and patterns to scale things, but also working together with the creative team, brainstorming ideas and using the metrics we see out there to guide the video and graphic team too.
Yeah.
And let me say something, because I know Dominic was like, oh, so graphics, saying that graphics, they were crashing the top of the funnel, and videos in the beginning, it was difficult. But actually videos perform best on retargeting campaigns than graphics. For example, these viral ads, I can put them on retargeting campaigns, but the performance will be worse than some videos that we have that talk about that show social proof and broke objections. Those ads work best on retargeting than these viral ads. So just because it's a viral ad doesn't mean that it will work best on all the funnel, on all of the funnel.
Yeah. I mean, I like to let the founders know that yes, we create the viral ads and that creates the growth, but it's so important that we still have all of these other working ads that serve as the foundation. They're not viral, but they continue to bring in the purchases so that the monthly revenue doesn't dip like this. It's really just building onto it. And that's super important. That's why it's really important for us to continue producing ads the way that we do.
Yeah.
We just got, you guys, Rui, I don't know if Rui and Dominic knows this, but we just got our first viral organic TikTok post.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that.
It has about 800, I think at this point it's about 800,000 views. Around 40, it's actually around 40, almost 50,000 likes at this point. And then the shares are around 600 shares on the TikTok. Which, TikTok ads are a little bit volatile right now, just because sometimes they spend, sometimes they don't. And the ads get rejected. So we're like, look, let's just go into organic and see if it has the same level of virality. And it was 3 days ago. It's a Holly post, but definitely this is Lauren's, I don't know actually who was used for the actor in this post, but I'm not entirely too sure. I can't tell because it's like very close-ups and we don't see the face. But it's another guy that's featured. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like coming from Lauren and Paula's network of people, which is amazing. So we're also starting to crush it in TikTok. So I'm super happy about that.
Yeah, cool. I was waiting for that moment because you can see that a lot of people are crashing it on TikTok organic and make small brands like have like spikes of sales just because when TikTok went viral organically. And it's like we gotta really take that moment right now. I mean, right now I think it's already too late because the best way, the best days, they were gone, but still it's super strong. I really think that it's the social media channel with best organic potential.
Another 7 years of opportunity inside TikTok. We talked about this.
It's honestly kind of taken the place of like I think everyone's been there before. Like Dominic was saying before he was here, he was trying to start his own shoe business and stuff. It's kind of taken the place of like if you start off with your own tiny company, trying to work out how to do in the beginning, especially how to do ads yourself and stuff like that. Now you can just, it's kind of if you have a good product and you have a good understanding of people, it's a pretty like foolproof way of getting a small business off the ground is posting organic TikToks and getting hella sales from it.
Yeah, there's a very particular way to do it though.
Yeah.
You know,
it's kind of it's a nuance as well though. It's like it's really difficult to put into words. It's kind of like I know how TikTok works, so I know this will work kind of thing as well.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting, and we'll keep you, our listeners, updated for sure. Once I start to understand the benchmarks and the formulas. But listen, Rui, Dominic, thanks so much for you guys' time and sharing the amazing results so far. I'm super excited, because I think we're getting back to our real heart of Sugatan, and what our core strength is, which is really creating viral content. So, and the media buying being the catalyst of the scale. So thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you.